Hello. So today I'm going to discuss in detail about the step called ECA during the Canadian PR application. So ECA is nothing but Educational Credential Assessment. However, going forward, we will be using this term ECA frequently. And so, what is an ECA and how it is done? How to complete this process? So that is what I'm going to explain today. So ECA means Educational Credential Assessment. Why we have to do this step, complete this process or get this document is because the Canadian government wants to understand what is your educational qualification. Different people might have completed their education from different countries. So the Canadian government, before giving you the approval for the PR application or for the migration, they want to understand what is your level of education which you have completed in your country, because of different reasons. One reason might be because people might be giving fake documents, so they have to validate whether your educational qualification indeed the correct one and it is not fake. And the other reason is like different countries will be having different educational system which they are following, so they have to understand how your education can be is equated to their education system, that is the what is the subjects which you are covering. So one example I can explain is I have done my graduation and post graduation from Kerala. However, once the ECA is done, I got my ECA report for my post graduation, which is mentioned as like I have completed one more additional degree. So it is not considered as a master's. It can be because of different reasons, like the educational subjects which we are following in my state or in my university. So so they want to understand what is the equivalent qualification of my education if it is converted into the Canadian terms of education. So that is basically the reason why we have to do this ECA. So anyone who has completed their education outside Canada, then they have to definitely go through this process and have to get this report, ECA report. So there are different agencies who are doing this ECA. Of course, all these agencies need to be approved by the Canadian consulate or the Canadian government. So we have different approved authorized agencies like WES, World Education Services, ICA, CES, etc. So I have done my ECA via WES. So I can explain about their charges and what are the procedures to complete to get this ECA report from WES. So first of all, what we have to do is like we have to create an account with WES website. So important thing is you have to understand that WES is operating both from US and from Canada. So the US office or the US WES is for not for Canadian immigration. So what we have to register is for WES Canada if you are applying for the Canadian immigration, and make sure that you are sending all your documents to WES Canada and all your payments and the registration, every process is done only with WES Canada, because I have seen many instances uh, where people by mistake register with WES US, or sometimes send their documents to WES US by mistake, and then they have to contact the WES to correct these issues, so which might take some more time. So make sure that you are not doing that mistake and you are approaching only the WES Canada and sending all your documents and the payments to WES Canada. So this first step is to create an account with WES website, which is a very simple process. It will not take more than 5 or 10 minutes, and you can, it is very simple, as like you create an account with Facebook or with Naukri. You have to enter your personal details and you have to enter the details regarding your educational qualification which you want to assess. The second question is about the cost. How much cost is involved in doing this process? So it will be approximately around 13,000 Indian rupees, or it was around somewhere like 280 or 220 CAD, I believe. I'm not sure though. So this is the, after the registration you have to make the payment, then you will receive a reference number, that is the WES reference number. You have to note this reference number. Of course, you will receive a mail with this reference number. So any further communication regarding your ECA process with WES needs to be you need to mention this number, this WES reference number, in all your communication. And There are two things which people often ask me about the cost of this WES. So one thing is whether you have to apply for an international courier service, which comes at a price of around 85 CAD, so which is around 4,500 rupees. So the answer is no. You don't require. You don't need it. For doing the ECA report. However, it is not. It is not mandatory. But if you want, you can still apply it. I will say why it is not mandatory, because of two reasons. One is you can of course download your ECA report once it is ready from your account. So the soft copy is enough for the PR application. So you can download the soft copy from the WES website. The second reason is already the WES is sending the ECA report to the Canadian immigration. So one of the recipients of your ECA report is by mandatory. It is mandatory that it needs to be the Canadian government or the Canadian consulate. So they still the Canadian consulate already have your report. The second is you can still download the report from your side for submitting your report while doing the PR application. You can download the soft copy, which is fair enough. And the third reason is you have an option to get the hard copy of the report via normal post. Via normal post means you will receive this report through our India post, but it will take like 1 or 2 weeks time once your report is ready. So I got my report after 2 weeks, the hard copy of my report. So you have all these three options, but if you still want to get an international courier, then you can still opt for it. The benefit you will be getting out of it is like you will be receiving a tracking reference by which you can track whether your application has been sent or where it is, so all those things, but it comes with a price. So if you want, you can of course go for it, but otherwise it is not mandatory. The other thing is like there is something called Hst Tax while creating the WES, while you register for the WES Canada. The question is like whether we have to pay this Hst Tax. To be honest, in fact we are not supposed to pay this Hst Tax because we are not resident. If you are not a resident or citizen of Canada, then you need not pay this tax. Some of the consultancies by mistake they will ask you or tell you that you have to pay the Hst Tax, because one of my friend who has done his ECA via using the consultancy services, they asked him to pay the Hst Tax, and then he is now in contact with the WES Canada to check whether they can reimburse this tax. So be aware, we are not supposed to, we need not pay this Hst Tax. And regarding the steps, so what are the steps involved? So the steps are like you have to send the photostat copy of your degree certificates, only the degree certificate from your side to WES Canada. Degree certificates, just a photostat copy, but make sure that okay, you take the photocopy of both the front and back page of your degree certificate, because some of the degree certificates, so for example my degree certificate is from MG University Kerala, so it has a small reference number on the back side of the degree certificate. Most of the people will think like only the degree certificate means only the front page, but it is not like that. There is a small reference number and a signature on the back side of the degree certificate. So if you have any entries or any data on the back side of the degree certificate, make sure that okay, you are taking the photocopy of the back side as well, and you have to send it. If you have more than one degrees like graduation and post graduation, make sure that you take the photocopy of both your degrees, whatever degrees you are going to assess using WES service, you can send it to WES Canada along with your reference number which you have generated earlier while registering for WES Canada. And the other thing is like whether you have to evaluate all your degrees. Of course you can evaluate all your degrees because WES collects the payment based on application. It is not based on the credential. For one application it is one payment. You give 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree, whatever it is, there is only one single payment you have to do. So it is always better to give all the documents for educational credential assessment via WES. Then the second is what you have to do with the transcript. So the WES requires something called transcripts from your university. It needs to be sent by the university directly to the WES Canada. So earlier WES was giving two different options. Either the university can directly send these documents to WES Canada, or the university can give these documents by hand to you, and then you can put these documents, you should not open it, but you can put it in an additional covers, and you can send it directly to WES Canada. But now I heard like WES has changed their policies, and now these documents need to be sent directly by the university to WES Canada. So how to get these transcripts from universities? Almost all the universities have their own process, but I will explain about what I did from MG University Kerala. So if some people watching this video are from Kerala and who has done their education from MG University, then they will know, they will understand how it is being done. So you have to go to the university with all your educational documents and personal documents starting from your 10th, educational documents starting from 10th plus to your graduation, all the mark sheets, professional certificates, degree certificate, and everything. And if you are going to MG University, then it is always better to go to the photostat shop opposite to the university, because they are the people who knows how to do these things with the university, because they do it almost every day. So you can go there and tell them that you want to get these documents for Canadian ECA through WES. You can also download one WES request form from the WES website. Make sure that you are downloading the WES Canada request form, and you can fill this form, and you have to submit this form to the university. If you have 2 or more degrees, then you have to download like 3 or 4 copies of this one according to the number of degrees which you are going to assess, and you have to fill this form and submit it to the university. So if you are going to MG University, just tell the photostat shop like you want the transcripts, and they will tell you what you have to do there. So what exactly they do is like they will collect all the photocopies of all your mark sheets, and they have a standard template which they are using for the creation of the transcript. They basically enter all the details, all your details into the template, like your name, the year of all your mark sheets, and what are the internal subjects you have covered, what is your internal mark, external mark, total marks of which college you have done your education, and everything. And they will take a print of this template, as well as they will write it in a CD and give it back to you. But make sure that all the data which you have, which the shop owner has entered in their template, is correct, like your internal mark, external mark, because there will be n number of subjects. If you have especially if you have done your engineering, then you will be having your supplementary exams, then you will be having your internals, externals, like 50-60 subjects. So make sure that your subjects are correct, and the internal marks, external marks are correct. The year of the March year and month when the mark sheet was issued is correct, your name is correct, the college name is correct, and everything. Basically each and every data in the template is correct. You will get a printout, so you have to cross verify before they write it in the CD. Once you get it, then you can make the payment to the university using your credit card, and you can take the printout of the payment receipt, as well as the challan copy and the photocopies of all your educational documents, attach the WES form, attach the transcript printout, attach the CD, and when you have all these documents ready, you can go and submit it to the Pariksha Bhavan. Before that's all what you have to do in the university. But before you leave the university campus, make sure that you try to get any contact details of any person who is a person in charge in the university, so that you can make the follow-ups. So if you are not from Kerala or not near to your university, you can of course contact them over the phone, because in case there is a delay in sending the documents. So what the university has to do is like they have to verify your transcript, they have to do this, and they will issue a transcript and they will send it directly to WES Canada. Once the WES Canada receives this transcript, they will verify all these details, and they will also send a mail and a post to the university for them to reconfirm that all these documents which the university has sent is correct. So once the university receive this mail or the post, then they have to respond to this email or the normal post to WES Canada saying like, okay, yes, we verify that all these documents submitted are valid and genuine. So then only the WES will start verifying all the subjects and other things, and they will at last they will once they update the status of your documents in the WES registration or your profile, like the document is complete, your educational ECA is ready, then you can download this form. So that is all about the ECA process. So if anyone has not started yet, then you can of course start this process, because this process takes a lot of time, because it all depends on the university. Some universities send it very fast, some universities sends it very slow. Like mine, I took around 9 months to complete my ECA process. So if you have not started this process, this is the first step and most important step, so you can always start this right away. Thank you very much.